Hello everyone. We moved in different place here. It turns out that there's some technical problems. We're lucky that to say lucky is not very appropriate because Luang Por forbid us to say this word. It's because the wholesome, the merit, so the staff team come very early and know that their technical problems occur, so we moved in time. This room actually conducted, there's a Dhamma conducted in this room by Ajahn. There are a total of 18 Chinese students in here. This person, he used to be in this room in the first course. It's actually a long time ago. Now, there are a lot of course attenders, approximately about so many hundreds of people, not just from the China mainland, but also from other countries as well, from Taiwan, Singapore, from Malaysia, Australia, Canada, and Japan, and also United States of America. So it is considered that Dhamma is pretty much widespread. To regard as widespread is actually in the aspect of many countries, but not actually so many people interested in. For example, in Thailand, it could be said that Buddhism is widespread in Thailand, but actually not so many people come to practice Dhamma. For example, if you take a look at the views of Dhamma viewers compared to the total number of populations, you'll see that it's actually considered to be very few. Actually, Luang Por said that the Buddhism is not for the majority of people. Buddhism is actually for the minority of people, only a few people in this world. Because Buddhism is the religion that need you to depend on yourself. But most people are vulnerable and fragile. There's a lot of religions in this world. Some religions use faith as their means of their religion. Like they do whatever they have to please the God. Or some religions, they are interested in morality and precepts. You don't have to think anything else, just follow the rules, abide by the rules, do not doubtful, then your life will be prosper. Some religions interested in doing meditations to make the mind happy, peaceful, subtle, delicate, and one day you could be united with the God. But for Buddhism, we extend beyond these kind of things because it involves the wisdom, and the Buddhism is about to depend on yourself very much. Buddhism is actually Kammavati, the doctrine of karma, volitional action. But we have to understand that Kammavati of Buddhism, Buddhism is not the doctrine of the past actions. It's not all about the past actions, and we just keep resting, not doing anything, just let the past actions rule our lives. That's not true. That's not entirely true. The Buddhism is beyond that. Buddhism see the potentials of each and individual of us. So it put an importance onto the present action. So these kind of religions wouldn't allow you to ask for anything, both the success from this world, success in this world, or success in the Dhamma. You cannot ask from any celestial beings or masters. Why not? Because it contradicts to the rules of karma. Buddha taught that if you want to get rich, you need to work, do jobs. You need to be able to spend wisely. Do not be friend with bad people. You have to. You shouldn't do the cause of ruin, and so these are the causes and effects. Buddhism didn't teach to be faithful, but actually faithful is something else in Buddhism. Is to be faithful with reasons. But if we have to look into those people who call themselves Buddhists, there's a lot of things that they believe blindly in things. I was one like this. I wanted to depend on angels, celestial beings to help me. But once I learned Dhamma till I understand the essence of Buddhism, then I start to realize that there's nothing beyond the rules of karma. If you want to be rich, you need to be frugal. If you want to be better at Dhamma, you have to practice. You have to keep being moral, doing meditation, doing samadhi. It should be the right kind of samadhi, not the wrong one. You need to cultivate wisdom to see the body and mind as it really is, to see the three common characteristics of body and mind. Buddhism concentrates on these areas. Morality, for example, morality is the rock bait for samadhi, and samadhi is very important in Buddhism too, because samadhi can give rise to wisdom. Saying that Buddhism is the religion of wisdom, but wisdom is not actually everything's about Buddhism. Buddhism is only a pathway. It just only leads us to the liberation, which is you can liberate it from all the sufferings and do not have to take birth and rebirth in this samsara ever again. Last time I canceled the live Dhamma talk because my father-in-law passed away and I have to attend the funeral every day, 7 days a week. And the day there's supposed to be a live Dhamma talk, I had to go to the funerals. Otherwise, my wife's family wouldn't be so comfortable hearing that. So I was in the funeral for many days, and I've seen a lot of bizarre things. I've seen a lot of people come to the funeral, and one day there's actually one day when Luang Po comes to the funeral, and you understand that a lot of people knew Luang Po, and a lot of people interested in Dhamma. It's actually not true at all, because in that funeral there's so many people, and not so many people know Luang Por, and even someone that know Luang Por, they just don't practice Dhamma. So you see that a lot of people come to the temple, but compared to the people in this world, it's just only a very few. And I've seen a lot of my friends during my youth, and there's only one person who practiced Dhamma. My father-in-law, the late one, he's got a lot of money. He diligent at doing that, his job. In the aspect of getting rich, he did according to what Buddha taught. He knows how to gain income, and he's being frugal. He actually got a lot of money and spent a lot of money, but that's still considered frugal because although he like to do gambling, when he's still in good health, he liked to go traveling and spend his life in a luxury style. Like people in these days, they never interested in Dharma practice, and they never know that there's a better path, like to keep being moral, keep precepts, and keep practicing Dharma so that they won't be born to experience any suffering ever again. Even I'm his son-in-law, but my father-in-law or any members of wise family had no interest in Dharma practice. Even if I'm, as a son-in-law, is a teacher assistant here. But these people still go to temples and make merits. But when I see the monks or temples that they normally go visit, I just felt like these are not monks. These are because I just found I've experienced a lot of monks in this temple who are very good. When I was ordained as a monk, I've experienced the disciplines that require you to be really have to practice, and there's a lot of things that you have to do, like you have to chant the mantra. Like now we are monk, we are not lay persons. We have to have the discipline and actions to be appropriate for the monkhood. We have to consider from time to time that we live our life depending on other people, so we have to live easy life, to live easy for them to raise us, to help us. The monks need to chant the mantra, like we have to be separate from the loved ones as ordinary. Actually, not just the monks in this temple consider these kind of things, but actually all the good monks need to do this, because the Buddha taught us to contemplate on these things from time to time. We have to contemplate whether our morality is defective or not. Can we condemn ourselves? Can other people who knows can condemn on our morality? Furthermore, monks need to contemplate when we ordain and practice Dhamma. What kind of qualities do we have? Any wholesomeness that prosper in our mind, so that when other people asked our companions, monks, asked us, we don't have to be shy to answer. So I practice from this temple, this kind of practice. When I see other people, other monks from different temples, and I don't want to say a negative side to these monks, but I just talk from my experience. I found these kind of things, and I found that the news related to the monks in these days are not very okay, not very good. But there are actually some good monks like our masters and a lot of good monks around here. There's plenty of them. But compared to the monks in the country, so it's pretty depressing that the temples or the monks that can access to the essence of Buddhism, how long can the essence of the Buddhism could last? The lifestyle of people these days changes as well. Now people becomes live in the city center and they cannot go to the temples during the Buddhist days. They have to go to the temple on Saturday and Sunday. So when the monks walking arms and asking for food, they are not provided. So that's why they need some money to live their lives. Now I found that even good monks are likely to live more difficulty. Actually, there are 4 assemblies of Buddhists. There's now no Buddhist nuns. It's gone for a very long time. Buddhist nuns nowadays, they're not according to the Buddhism discipline, so only 3 left. Buddhist monks, laymen, and lay women. There are not so many Buddhist monks nowadays. Back then there are more than 100,000 monks, but now I'm not sure how many left. But among these monks, the monks that are good and act according to the doctrine and discipline, how many of them left? These days, we just heard that a lot of monks, for example, do not use monk satchel, but instead using the luxurious bag. In some monks conduct their action in notorious ways, and it's really destroy the faith of the Buddhist. Good news appears a lot less frequent. For example, our master giving Dhamma talks, these not on the news. So that's why faith in Buddhism becomes lessened. Apart from the monks that do not know or do not keep the doctrine and discipline of Buddhism, in fact, the other 2 assemblies of Buddhists are part of destroying Buddhism. Laymen and laywomen, they don't understand the Buddhism. They don't know what Buddha taught. I've seen some relatives of mine wanted to make marriage. They thought to themselves that they want to make marriage because they want a lot of marriage. They want their life to be prosper. On the other hand, they spoil the monks. When we want marriage, we give a lot of things to the monks, or the expensive thing, or the best thing they gave to the monks. These mean that they supporting the defilements of the monks, because they never consider what's appropriate for the monks and what make the monks difficult to practice Dhamma, what makes the monk have a restless mind. So the assemblies of Buddhists that I'm talking about is laymen and laywomen. They spoil monks. They spoil monks out of unknowingly, or spoil out of greed. I don't want to talk like this, but in this temple there are plenty of disciples in this temple, spoiled monks as well. Even there are the Dharma practitioners. They sometimes spoil the monks here. But I don't want to condemn, because lay people want to give good things to the monks. Actually, back then, so many years back then, I am the one person who liked to make merit, and I give a lot of things to the monk in this temple. All the good things, I gave them all to the monks. Sometimes I got this one thing that really valuable, and I gave to the monk. And Luang Por asked me, why you give these good things, a lot of good things to the monks? And I answered that because I want merits, and I want to get rid of the greed in my mind. Luang Por said that reduce your greed doing like this to a different temple, not here. There's a lot of people comes to this temple and gave a lot of things to the monks. But these good things, these fine things are not appropriate to the monks, and most of them are not used by this temple. It's not used by the monks here. So, however, so the lifestyle of monks shouldn't be too comfortable. They live their life to from depending on other people, but they never ask for huge amount of things given to the monks. But I don't want to condemn or rebuke, but when I went to visit the funerals, and a lot of monks comes to the funeral, and from other temples, from different temples, and I just see this kind of experience. I'm saying this not because I want to condemn monks, but I just want to show the big pictures of the Buddhism in the presence, that they're all undermined, they're all weakened. All the assemblies of Buddhists become weaker. They have no knowledge at all. They just wanted to make merits. Like the rest of us, we have to be careful about this as well. Sometimes it's muddled with the unwholesomeness. For example, if you support the defilements of the monks, you're part of doing it. You're part of making their defilements arise. In the Buddhist era, Luang Por ever told that there's a group of monks come to practice Dhamma in a place, in a village. In that village, there was a laywoman. She was a practitioner and had a sharp psychic skill. She kind of read everyone's mind. She able to read everyone's mind. When monk thinks anything, she knows. And the monk started to realize that these laywomen can read their mind. So the monks become afraid, because even because they are afraid of these lay women knows their evilness and defilement. So this group of monks did not want to stay there. So they came back to the Buddha, and the Buddha asked why came back. So this group of monks told Buddha that these lay women know everything on their mind. One day, the monks wanted to eat that that lay women knew. That the monks wanted to, for example, drink coffee from this brand. The lay women knows. So they assume that even evil thoughts, these lay women would know. So they are afraid that so the monks are afraid to stay there. That's why then the Buddha said that go back to that place. So that group of monks came back to that village, and so they have to be careful about their thoughts and actions. They be careful about doing evil things or thinking evil. So they be ashamed of doing evil things because of that lay women. And after a while, they become prosper in Dhamma to get attainment. As a layperson, we have a duty to support, endorse Buddhism, but with wisdom, not only blindly faith. If we blindly giving things to the monks or making merely blindly, not only supported the Buddhism, but also destroying Buddhism as well. And also we have to understand the essence of Buddhism. For in terms of doctrine and the discipline of the monks, you may not know. The thing that you have to know is the essence of the teaching of Buddha. You have to know that normally Buddha taught about morality, samadhi, and wisdom. Buddha normally taught about having only a few wishes, to be contentment and not to be fond of mingling, to be peaceful in the peaceful place and calm mind, to teach about having an effort, and finally liberations. You may not know about the doctrines and disciplines of the monks, but if you understand the essence of the Buddhism, that's okay. Doctrine and the discipline is only the form of practice, but the essence of the Buddhism is a lot more important. If you don't know, you couldn't distinguish between good monks and bad monks. The monks that we experience, whether they are moral or not, or if they have few wishes or not, being content with their lives or not, or if they like to mingling with the monks themselves or the lay person, you may not know. So if you don't understand the essence of Buddhism, you are a part of destroying Buddhism. So in this aspect, according to our masters who have a far vision, he could see that in long term, will not know when, but if we depend on only the Buddhist monks, the Buddhism could be collapsed sooner. So you'll see that this temple, our masters taught Dhamma to a lot of laymen and laywomen. So that you could see that nowadays there are a group of laymen and laywomen get the advantage of the Buddhism. These people, back then they don't have the morality, but now they have. They don't know how to meditate, but now they can do meditating. They can develop the right samadhi, not the wrong samadhi, like the tightness, the controlling of the mind. They practice till they get the mind that become quality enough to give rise to wisdom, or the mind that can make you calm. They can practice to develop the noble mind for wisdom cultivation. หลวงพ่อ taught that after we have the right samadhi, in other words, have the mind that appropriate for wisdom cultivations and have mental power as well, then he taught to continue to give rise to wisdom. When you have the noble mind and you have listened to the Dhamma to see three common characteristics, then the mind will see three common characteristics until you understand the truth of the body and mind, that all the five aggregates or khandhas are subject to suffering, non-self. Then you understand more and more that there is no self. There's only five aggregates or khandhas working, circling and changes according to its contributing factors. And our ignorance that we accumulated from many lives, 1,000, 5,000, millions lives, it makes us have a wrong perception that there is a self. We keep learning the truth. Learning is not like memorizing. Learning is about learning about morality, to practice to be moral, not just memorizing what contained in 5 precepts. So the Dhamma practitioners have to take actions to keep being moral. When we learn about the mind, we just don't memorize the qualities of the mind, but we have to take action. We have to train ourselves until the mind becomes noble, until the mind becomes stable and have mental power and have right samadhi, not the wrong samadhi. The practitioners need to be able to actually cultivate wisdom, not just thinking about the Dhamma or reading books and things that everything subjected to impermanent suffering and non-self. The defilements aren't afraid of these knowledge. So if we learn Dhamma by memorizing things, so that you can talk Dhamma without practicing Dhamma at all, not training their mind to be stable and observer, and don't train themselves to be able to cultivate wisdom, you won't be able to understand the essence of Buddhism. The Dhamma that they memorized in their brain, not so long they will forget about it. defilement couldn't be lessened, couldn't be reviewed. So our duty is to practice Dhamma, keep practicing. Each and every one of us who interested in practice Dhamma share an important part in keeping Buddhism and developing Buddhism. And our master has vision so that our master just not distribute all the Dhamma to only in Thailand, but also teach in different countries. So you can see that there are English versions and Chinese versions of Dhamma by the assistance of the lay persons who have the same vision. So we not only practicing for the advantage of ourselves, but also spread the Dhamma for other people as well. It's very uncertain how long the Buddhas can last in this country. Even nowadays, especially nowadays, it's very difficult to predict. People in this room, there's both Chinese and Thais. Each and every of us are very important. We have a duty to practice Dhamma as much as you can. Whether you'll get entertainment is another thing, but you have to do a good cause. You have to understand the essence of the Buddhism, that the Buddhism is Karmavadi, which is the doctrine of the karma. This means the Buddhism teaches the doctrine of karma, volition action. The karma is real. It is what done is done. Doing good is doing good. Doing bad is doing bad. It's bound to produce the result. There's no accusation. There's no accusation of doing each and everything. Buddhism is a universal law. There is no races. There's no discriminations from, for example, the poor, the rich. It's all about the truth. It brings the truth for everyone to see. For example, no matter nationalities you are, if you're killing an animal, that's produce bad karma. Not just only killing animals. If you come to Odin and you educate and you learn the doctrine, the discipline, you'll see that even killing the ghost or angels or celestial beings is a bad karma as well. These kind of things you have to know. The universal laws of the Buddhism is that all the good things are the truth. For example, being compassionate or having loving kindness, these are the truth. When, for example, you see a bad person or you see other people from different countries or different religions, the people who understand the truth of Dhamma or understand the sense of Dhamma, they have generosity, loving kindness towards everyone, regardless of their nationalities, genders, whether they're good person or bad persons. If you still have loving kindness towards a specific kind of people, specific group of people, that's not the noble yet. No matter how long passed by, whether you are in what cultures or what races, this kind of truth is certain. It's never wavers. No matter countries you are, 100 Celsius will bring the water to boil. This is the truth. Doing good things result in good things. Doing bad things result in bad things. This is the truth, no matter where you are or who you are. Is there a love that will be suffering, regardless of who you are? If there is a craving, then there will be suffering, regardless of whether you are a monk, good or bad, rich or poor, old or young. These are the truth, the universal truth. It never changes, no matter how long passed by. Whether the Buddha come to enlightenment or not, this is still the truth. So you have a lot of merit now that you have chance to be able to learn the religion, the essence of the religions that have these that taught these kind of things. This is not the religions that want you to ask for things, to get something. The Buddhism is Viriyavadi. The Buddhism taught that one can transcend the suffering because of their effort. It's just not that anything just happens on its own without any cause. You have to cultivate all the goodness and reduce all the wrongdoings, curb your wrongdoings, and develop the wholesomeness. Then all the faculties will get stronger. It's the religion of actions. They believe in the karma. It believes in the past karma as well. It can result in the present. However, they also put an importance in the present actions as well, and they promote the human not to be blindly faithful. It's not true that you can be liberated through take a bath in a Kongka river so that you can be pure. Even in the Buddha's era, there's still some beliefs like this. That's why Buddha taught that all the fish and turtles in that river would be pure and free from all the defilements. Talking about this, it reminds me of the times I went to that funeral. The funeral is is about culture. It's related to culture for different races, countries. They have different beliefs in set up the funerals. For Chinese people, they have different beliefs in setting up a funeral. For example, in my wife's family, they believe that they have to do a lot of things. Like, for example, the last day of the funeral, they need to bring the soul and take them to the celestial being in order to go to the Buddha, to take them to the Buddha. And this will result in this soul to go to Sukhavati, the happy realms, which there are a lot of Buddhas and good ones. But actually, who can take you that far if you do evil things? If you do evil things, you would go to the suffer realms, the deprived realms. If these celestial beings can take us to the happy realms, that would contradict to the law of karma. I'm saying this not because I want to look down on these people, but if we learn the Dhamma, if you really learn the essence of Dhamma, to really learn the universal truth, not just learning about the cultures of races, and you understand that a lot of people do a lot of things, they're wasting a lot of money out of their ignorance for nothing. Just it's actually only for their being comforting. They pay homage with a lot of good things. If you pay homage with this specific thing, it would yield specific result. I'm not sure whether the ones who get worship would get these kind of offerings or not, but it seems like these offerings are for the advantage of the ones who paying worship. For example, this offering would yield an effect of being rich. If you pay worship by offering this kind of thing that would make you rich, that's not true at all. So if you learn about Dhamma and you understand the cause and effects, you'll see that these things is not truth. It is something that human races, culture, different countries fabricated because they unknowingly do it according to their certain level of wisdom. This is the actions of people who don't understand the universal truth. It's the wisdom of the group of people who think from the hearts of people who still have defilements in their mind, full of defilements. They don't understand the truth of the world, so they do this kind of thing. And this happens to almost everyone in this world, though in different actions, different ways. When races of people, different races of people do different things. They do out of ignorance, not knowing. That's why Buddha said that the wrong view is the most severe unwholesome, which is ignorance, which is, in other words, not knowing the truth of everything, the truth of the Dhamma. That's why it making people who don't know the truth, that's why people did wrongdoings, which is actually not helpful at all. So for us, we get to learn the true Dhamma. We learn about the cause and effects. We learn that this cause could lead to, for example, good result or bad results. Do this kind of cause will allow you to get enlightened. So we just learn about these things. So if you want to be a real Buddhist, the first thing that you have to do is to be moral, keep 5 precepts. Anything that make you blindly faithful, try to desert it, try to discard it, get rid of them off. Anything that not reasonable, try to eliminate them. I'm saying this not because that I'm not used to these kind of things. I grew up in the cultures where there are lots of beliefs, but then I start to realize after learning Dhamma that a lot of things is not true. Then I started to become more clever. Then I understand that figures cannot control your life, cannot govern your lives. Only our actions govern your lives. If you do bad actions, then the bad result will yield in the future. If you do good cause, then the good result will yield its resultant in the future. It's not about the stars in the sky that would make you be better. Only karma that can govern your lives, not only the past karma, but also the new karma, the present karma as well. If you have the good view, good understanding, right understanding or right view, and walk to the path of right view or right path, that's why the Eightfold Noble Path, the first element is that the right view or right understanding. If you have the wrong view, you do accordingly. It's only true for a specific culture or races, but actually it's not true for the universal truth. So I congratulate all of us that get to learn Dhamma, get to learn the Dhamma that never change, no matter how long the time went by. This is Dhamma of only minority, because majority cannot depend on themselves. They like to ask for things from celestial beings, Seeing, and other people to make them rich or healthy or be better. These kind of people who ask these things, they have no knowledge that these celestial beings, angels, they still have sufferings in their mind. One day, these celestial beings will pass away, because if there is a born, there will be cease. They will cease eventually. So they're still suffering. So if you learn the Dhamma, you have to learn, cut to the essence of that thing, and you have to practice as well. Whatever makes you blindly faithful in things, you have to eliminate them. And try to develop yourself with your own skill, with your own action. Keeping moral by yourself, training your mind by yourself. No one can improve your mind. Develop wisdom, you've got to do it on your own. Nobody can make you develop your mind. The wisdom that you learn from Tipitaka or books, these are other people's wisdom, other people's knowledge. It's not yours. After a while, you forget them. So, if you want to prosper, you have to do it on your own. If your life degrades, that's because you do it yourself. There's no free of flux. You cannot ask these things from other people. I don't know why the Dhamma is like this today. It may be because it's the Dhamma that left from the funerals that I have attended for 7 days. But I can giving a talk in a different ways, and I hope that everyone got something valuable. Any of you among practitioners want to ask questions in this group? Okay. The question is, I'm not sure whether there is any improvement in me at all. Ajahn Prasan said, you're looking good, but deep down you're still controlling yourself. Can you feel that within your heart there's some still attachment? Can you feel that? Good. Oh, this person cannot really feel the mind because he used to feel the body. Now you're lost in thought. Can you feel that? The moment you're lost in thought, the feelings within the body disappears. Can you feel that? The body is sitting, you're not aware. Can you feel it? So you practice like this. Use the body as the home base, as an object of meditations. When you're lost in thought or lost in making contact with the world, the body will disappear. When the body disappears, isn't because it's just making of the world. Sometimes you just feel the mind instead. Then you won't feel the body because there's only the mind can only feel one thing at a time. It's a lot better than the first time we met. But it's not gonna be better that fast. You shouldn't think that it will be better very soon. It's just gradually better as long as you keep at it. In this process, it will be ups and downs. Sometimes you will feel that you have good samadhi, but at others you feel that you don't know how to practice at all. When you feel like that, you've got to come back to your principle. If you cannot if you cannot be aware of the mind, you can observe the body instead. If you cannot observe the body, you can do samatha, do calmness samadhi. For example, Buddha or chanting mantra, you shouldn't let your mind wander off all the time. The Buddhism is Kamawadi, the doctrine of karma, and Viryavadi, the doctrine of deeds and efforts. So it's all about doing the meditation of object. It's all about doing things. It's not like you doing nothing at all. You've got to do an object of meditations. What is the object of meditations? It's like your home base. As long as you still have suffering within the mind, as long as you still not safe from the deprived realms, you still have to practice Dhamma. So the first objective is, as long as you still have suffering, you've got to do object of meditation, train with the object of meditations. You have to have the home base and put constant effort. Then you'll see that the mind will be ups and down. The constant, on the process of constant effort, the understanding of Dhamma will increase. Then you'll see that whether the mind becomes aware or not, you cannot command it. Whether the mindfulness arises or not, you cannot command it. This kind of process you will understand according to your practice. The thing that you have to know is that when you are nervous or when you are doubtful whether you're doing right or not, this is for everyone. The first thing first that you've got to know is that moment the mind lost in thought is scattered. Apart from that, you've got to know that the mind become nervous. You have to realize these phenomena in the present. Among the practitioners will found that last year that we thought that our practice was good, was correct, but today it wasn't correct at all. Today you thought that your practice is correct, but next year or next month you found that your practice isn't correct at all. That's because there's more correct according your practice. When you practice more and more, it will get more correct and more correct. And one day you'll understand that your understanding of the Dhamma practice will get better. if you keep practicing. Is it very long answers? Is there anyone else? You there, I saw that you do walking meditations in the temple every day, and you have to notice that when you do that, you make your mind become vulnerable and soft. Can you think of the Dhamma practice now? Now you cannot do it. Tomorrow, when you do walking meditation again, you've got to notice that you're sneak doing the mind to become soft, sweet, and light. Are you intentionally to make the mind become happy or not? Trying to notice, trying to spot these things. Then I would suggest that this kind of thing is not correct, because we wanted the mind to become aware, not fabricate our own mind to be in a certain way. Then we can continue practice. Do you understand? Good. So go noticing this thing. So you there, you normally have the mind off the base. It's scattered out of the world. Now today it enter more to the home base, but now can you try breathing? Fix the mind on to the breath and breathe in. Now can you see that it's different from just now? Can you feel that? Not answering, what's that mean? Not answering, does it mean you're aware or not? Oh, can you feel it? Okay, good. So this thing is something that you have to notice. You have to be aware, because most of the time your mind becomes scattered. It's out of the base. Normally it's scattered from time to time. It's off the base. When you drift away, then your mind becomes scattered. Your mind still cannot recognize this phenomena. So I wanted to adjust this for you because it's appropriate for you now. Because it's become less scattered, then you should be able to notice it. Now your mind become on base more and more. It's on base more than the time you listen to the Dhamma. Now it's on the base more and more. Can you feel it? Can you distinguish the difference? Good. We're not train ourselves to draw our mind in on the base. But when the mind off the base is scattered outside, you have to be aware. Then you train with the objective meditations. When the samadhi becomes stronger, then the mind will be at the base more and more. Normally, what kind of objective meditation that you frequently use? He answered that, of breathing, observing the breathing. When you observe the breathing, is it that you're fixated the breathing or observing the body breathing in or breathing out? I would suggest you to observe the body. When the body moves, you know so. The body sit, walks, and stand, you know so. Observing the body would make the mind on the base more and more. Now that you feel the body breathing in and out, it's too subtle, it's too weak. It's really weak when the sensation of the body is too weak. Can you feel that? Yeah, it's too weak. the feelings. Can you feel the difference now? Can you feel that you are more aware of yourself? Can you feel the difference? Nodding your head if you can aware. Like this, you're on the base. You're more self-aware. Now, let's just think about the time when you do practice normally, like when you do mindful breathing. Can you do that now? Can you feel that when you think of doing mindful breathing, your self-aware become less clear? Yes, it's too weak. Go adjust accordingly. Saying that you should adjust, it doesn't mean that you should be aware with crystal clarity all the time, but you just keep training with your opposite limitations. And when the mind, and after a while, the mind will become at the base more and more. Are you confused? No, okay, good. So try doing this. Try doing like this. You are better now, better than last week. So that should be enough.